Hello students, this is our revision lecture of Mathematics class 8th chapter number 1 rational numbers. Let us have a look on the summary of this chapter number 1 rational numbers. We have studied about the definition of rational numbers. We have started this lecture with the definition of rational numbers. So what do you mean by rational numbers? If a number is represented in the form of p over q, where p and q both are integers and q is not equal to 0, then that number is called a rational number. So for a number to be a rational number, p and q both should be integers, and second condition is q should not be equal to 0. I hope everyone knows what are integers: positive numbers, positive natural numbers, negative natural numbers, and 0, including 0. All these come under the category of integers. So we can say that all the integers and fractions are called rational numbers. After that, we have studied two sets of rational numbers, two types of rational numbers, rather I should say. Positive rational numbers. What do you mean by positive rational numbers? If both the numerator and denominator are of same signs, it means they can be either both positive or both can be negative. In both these cases, it will be a positive rational numbers. We can have a look on the example. First example is 12 over 17. Here p, that is the numerator, is positive, which is equal to 12, and the denominator, which is equal to 17, which is also positive. So both these are positive, both are having the same sign, so it is a positive rational number. Next example can be taken as minus 9 over minus 11. Here both the numerator, that is minus 9, and denominator, that is minus 11, are of same sign, that is both are negative, so it is a positive rational number. Next type of rational numbers are negative rational numbers. So what are negative rational numbers? If the numerator and denominator are of opposite signs. It means if one numerator is positive, denominator need to be negative, or another case can be if numerator is negative, denominator need to be positive. Likewise, we can see in the example also, the very first example is minus 2 over 17. Here, the numerator is negative and denominator, that is 17, is positive. So, it is a negative rational number. Another example, in the another example also, numerator, that is p, is positive, and q, that is denominator, is negative. So, it is a negative rational number. After that, we have studied about additive identity. So what do you mean by additive identity? For every rational number p by q, q should not be equal to 0. There exists a rational number 0 such that if I add 0 to that particular rational number, answer should be the same rational number. This we know that if I am adding any number to 0, the answer will be the same rational number. So the number 0 is the additive identity of rational numbers. Next comes the concept of additive inverse. What do you mean by additive inverse? To find the additive inverse of a rational number, we are supposed to change the sign of the particular rational number. For example, if I need to find out the additive inverse of the rational number 3 by 4, so I need to change the sign of this rational number, and then I will be able to calculate or find out the additive inverse. Like minus 3 by 4 is the additive inverse of 3 by 4. If the rational number given to you is already negative, then make it positive to find the additive inverse of that particular rational number. Next comes the multiplicative identity. So what do you mean by multiplicative identity? For every rational number p by q, q should not be equal to 0. There exists a rational number 1 such that p over q multiplied by 1 should be equal to p over q. It means that if I am multiplying any rational number by 1, answer will be the same rational number. So we can say that number 1 is the multiplicative identity of rational numbers. Now coming to multiplicative inverse. So what do you mean by multiplicative inverse? Reciprocal of a rational number is the multiplicative inverse of a rational number. So if I need to find out the multiplicative inverse of a rational number, then I need to take the reciprocal of that particular rational number, and that will give you the multiplicative inverse of that given rational number. For example, minus 3 by 8 is the multiplicative inverse of minus 8 over 3. So if the number is minus 8 over 3, I just need to take the reciprocal of this given rational number. So it will be minus 3 over 8. Now, we have seen how to perform arithmetic operations on rational numbers. Let us quickly revise them all. First operation we have studied is addition. When we add two rational numbers, we need to make the denominator same. For example, if I am taking the two rational numbers as minus 3 by 5 and 2 by 3 and I need to add these two rational numbers, I need to take their LCM first, and then I will be able to add the given rational numbers. Second operation is subtraction operation. Similarly, in this case of subtraction, we need to make the denominator same first and then do the subtraction. For example, 1 over 2 minus 3 over 4, I need to take their LCM, that will be 4. So after solving, I will be getting the answer as minus 1 over 4. This is how I need to add or subtract two given rational numbers. Coming to multiplication of rational numbers. In case of multiplication, while multiplying two rational numbers, the numerator and denominators of the rational numbers are multiplied respectively. For example, if the one rational number is 1 by 2, that is to be multiplied to another rational number, that is 3 over 4, then I need to multiply the numerators like 1 into 3, that will give you 3, and denominators, that is 2 into 4, that is 8. So my required rational number will be 3 over 8. Now, division operation. If P over Q is divided by S over T, then it is represented as P over Q division sign, then S over T, that will give you PT over QS. Let us understand this with the help of an example. 1 over 2 divided by 3 over 4. I need to divide these two rational numbers. So 1 over 2, this division sign will be changed into multiplication sign, and 3 by 4 will be written as 4 over 3, and then the same procedure as we have done in the case of multiplication. Numerators will be multiplied like 1 into 4, that will give you 4. Denominators will be multiplied 2 over 3, that will give you 6. So my required rational number will be 4 over 6, that will be equal to 2 over 3. Now coming to the properties of rational numbers. The very first property we have studied is closure property. What does this property says? This property states that for any two rational numbers, say x and y, the results of addition, subtraction and multiplication operations give a rational number. It means if I am adding two rational numbers, result should be a rational number. And if I am subtracting two rational numbers, result should be a rational number. Or if I am taking or doing the multiplication of any two rational numbers, the result should be a rational number. In all these three cases, if I am getting the result as rational numbers on addition or subtraction or multiplication of the given rational numbers, then it means we can say that rational numbers are closed under addition, subtraction and multiplication. I have taken one example of addition, like if I need to add two rational numbers, and we have studied how to add two rational numbers. The very first step is we are supposed to take the LCM. Then after solving, I will be getting again a rational number. So it is verified that addition is closed for rational numbers. Same is the case for subtraction and multiplication. Now, the division of rational numbers is not closed, and because division by 0 is not defined. This you know very well. So, if we say that we are not including 0, then we can say that except 0, all the numbers are closed under division. But if we are including 0, then we will be saying that division of rational numbers is not closed. Coming to second property. This is the commutative property. This property states that for rational numbers, addition and multiplication are commutative. It means that if I am taking a plus b, two rational numbers, a and b definitely are rational numbers here. If I am taking the addition of a plus b on left hand side, and then on the right hand side, if I am interchanging the position of both the rational numbers, that is I am taking b plus a on the right hand side, if the result is same, then we can say that commutative law is verified. Commutative law of addition is verified. Same is the case with multiplication. A multiplied by b, it will be taken on left hand side, equal to b multiplied by a, that will be on the right hand side. On the right hand side, I have interchanged the position of the given two rational numbers. Subtraction is not commutative, because if you will be solving it or taking the example of two rational numbers and subtracting them, and if you find that on interchanging the position of the two rational numbers, the result will not be same. This we have studied in detail in the previous lecture. Subtraction is not commutative for rational numbers. Next is division is also not commutative. If you will be dividing two rational numbers, and if you are on the right hand side, if you are interchanging the position of those two rational numbers, result will not be same. So division is also not commutative for rational numbers. Coming to third property, that is associative law or associative property of rational numbers. What does this property says? Suppose x, y and z are rational numbers, then if this condition is verified, it means left hand side is equal to right hand side. For addition here I am talking about, then it means the associative property is verified for addition for rational numbers. If x, y and z are rational numbers, then x plus y plus z in the bracket is equal to bracket x plus y bracket close plus z. It means on the right hand side I need to change the position of the bracket. Here on the left hand side it was included along with y and z. On the right hand side I need to change the position of the bracket. I will be taking it or writing it along with x plus y. So x plus y will be solved first, and then their result will be added to the value of z on the right hand side. If both the sides are equal, then we can say that associative law is verified for rational numbers. For multiplication, in place of addition sign, I need to take multiplication sign. Again, I need to change the position of the bracket on the right hand side. Rational numbers follow, so we can say that rational numbers follow the associative property for addition and multiplication. We have studied all these properties in detail with the examples earlier. Now, subtraction is not associative. If I will be taking minus sign in place of multiplication and addition sign, then I will find that on changing the position of the bracket on the right hand side, result will not be equal to the left hand side. So this is your thus you can say that subtraction is not associative for rational numbers. Then we have division is not associative. Division is also not associative. If I will be interchanging plus or multiplication sign by division sign, then I will also find that result on the right hand side will not be equal to the result on the left hand side when I will be interchanging or changing the position of bracket. Now, coming to distributive property of multiplication over addition, if the rational numbers a, b and c obey the property of a into bracket b plus c is equal to a will be multiplied to b plus a will be multiplied to c also, then it is said to follow distributive property of multiplication over addition. Similarly, if in place of plus sign inside the bracket along with b and c, if I will be replacing that plus sign along with negative sign, then it will be the distributive property of multiplication over subtraction. I hope all of you have understood again or revised all the properties well. Coming to next topic, that is representation of rational numbers on the number line. In this case, first of all, you should know how to make a number line. I think everyone knows how to make a number line. You have studied it in previous class. First of all, you are supposed to draw a straight line and mark arrows on both the sides of the line to show that the line continues indefinitely in both the directions. After that, mark a point on it and label it as O, that is, it represents 0 or 0. After that, select a unit of length. Mark points on the line at unit length intervals from each other on both the sides of 0. Now, label the points to the right of 0 as 1, 2, 3 and the points to the left of 0 as -1, -2 and -3. This is the basic idea how to make a number line. Now, here in this diagram, I have tried to show you the rational numbers between one unit, that is 0 and 1. Like here in this case 1 over 3, 2 over 3, 3 over 3, that is equal to 1. These are the rational numbers between 0 and 1. Same is the case on left hand side of 0, that is 0 and -1. The rational numbers will be -1 over 3 and -2 over 3. Now, so for To make or represent a rational number on the number line, we need to make this point clear in our minds. Like, for any given rational number, the denominator tells the number of equal parts into which the first unit has been divided, and the numerator informs or tells how many of these parts are to be considered. Like, we can understand this, and for a negative rational number, same process is adopted on the left side of 0. Let us understand this with the help of an example. A rational number 4 by 9 means 4 of 9 equal parts on the right of 0. It means 9 equal parts should be there between 0 and 1, because 4 over 9 lies between 0 and 1. So 9 equal parts should be there, and out of those 9 parts, 4 are to be considered. So it will be 4 over 9. So between 0 and 1, I will be writing like this: 1 over 9, 2 over 9, 3 over 9, 4 over 9, 5 over 9, 6 over 9, 7 over 9, 8 over 9, 9 over 9, that is equal to 1. Now, how to find rational numbers between two given rational numbers? Between any two different rational numbers, there lie infinitely many rational numbers. So, there are two cases basically. Case 1 is when the rational numbers are having the same denominators, multiply the numerator and denominator of each rational number by n plus 1. Suppose I need to find out two rational numbers between the given two rational numbers, then 2 plus 1, n here is 2, so 2 plus 1, 3. I need to multiply the numerator and denominator of both the rational numbers by 3 to get the required number of rational numbers. Coming to the second case, when given rational numbers are having the different denominators. In that case, first of all, I need to take the LCM of the denominators. Then change the given rational numbers to equivalent rational numbers with LCM as their common denominator. Then, if necessary, if after second step I am not able to find out the required number of rational numbers, then as I have made their denominator same, so after that I need to multiply the numerator or denominator of the given those calculated natural rational numbers by n plus 1. For example, insert 5 rational numbers between 1 over 3 and 2 over 3. Here the LCM of both the rational numbers is same. So I need to multiply both numerator and denominator of each rational number by 5 plus 1, that is equal to 6, because here n is equal to 5. 5 rational numbers are required. So 5 plus 1, that is equal to 6. So we have 1 over 3 is equal to 1 into 6, that is numerator is being multiplied by 6, denominator is also being multiplied by 6, so it will be 6 over 18, and 2 over 3 will be now 12 over 18. That is, both the numerators and denominators of both the rational numbers are being multiplied by 5 plus 1, that is equal to 6. So we have 5 rational numbers between 1 over 3 and 2 by 3 are 7 over 18, 8 over 18, 9 over 18, 10 over 18 and 11 over 18. I hope students you have understood, or you are clear with all the concepts of this chapter. So you are supposed to now revise this chapter or revise all the questions of this chapter from NCERT book. Thank you so much.